My name is Giancarlo.
My name is Erica.
And this is a review video of...
Gang Rush Breakout.
That's right. And as we've been talking before, the cameras were rolling. Maybe my brother put it in. He'll show you. We'll see. We'll see if he puts it in. Probably not.
Probably not. Gang Rush.
Sounds like a... You are a mafia henchman in the 1950s on your way to deliver your cold hard cash to your boss. But watch out for rival families as they'll try to take your money for their own. Or maybe they should watch out for you as you'll shoot them up across the bridge and take their loot. The player that has the most money and is not last to cross the finish line wins. Game here is set with each player having their choice of car with matching dashboards starting on 0 miles per hour. The hazard and bonus tiles will be on either side of the bridge with 5 revealed. For the shop, make sure the gold colored ones are closest to the tile deck, followed by the blue and finally metallic gray. Money will be on one side with 3D obstacles close by. The youngest player will place their car on a starting space with money listed on it, and take that much. Next youngest goes, and so on until all players have placed their cards. You're now ready for some Gang Rush Breakout.
Player order is determined by the car in the lead, then second in the lead, and so on. Should the cars be tied in position, the one closest to the left will take their turn. Each turn consists of 2 steps: place hazard and move car. Placing hazard is in reverse turn order, so that the player in the last position chooses a hazard and places it on the space. Then second to last player does the same, and so on. When placing a hazard, follow these rules. No same type hazard can be placed adjacent to each other, and it obviously must be placed on an empty space. Hazards can include caltrops to slow you down, barricades that smashing through will make you lose money and health, police which shoot at the end of the turn, containers which you certainly do not want to crash through, and potholes which must be maneuvered slowly through or lose health and money. Unless you're John Duke with the super suspension, which suffers less damage through them. When all hazards have been placed, we go to move cars.
Following player order, the active player will roll 5 dice. He'll put aside any of the dice he wants, and then he'll re-roll the others. He'll do that again one last time for a total of 3 rolls. First thing the player will do is adjust durability. The green ones will fix one, while the red icon will make them lose one. Next, you'll adjust your speed using these icons. For each one rolled, the player can increase or decrease his speed. This will affect your steering, so do be aware. Besides the one you have on your dashboards as bonuses, you might roll steering icons as well. To change lane, a player must spend 2 steerings. So if you need to change lane twice, make sure you have 4 steerings available. Lastly, shots will have you shoot at the first thing directly in front of you, unless you're Clyde Parker, in which case you can shoot in any direction with his mounted turret. You can shoot barricades to destroy them, cops to get them out of the way by moving them to another adjacent space, or another player. Each shot on a player will have him lose a durability and $100, which they'll place under their car that can be picked up by other cars later. Shots can be used anytime during movement. On their turn, a player may shop for bonuses as well. The closest to the deck will cost $500. The next one $400, and so on. When buying a tile, slide the ones to the right and reveal a new one. I won't mention all the bonuses as there are way too many, as you can see here. But they range from weapons to dice manipulation, money and repairs, and so on. Any dice not used can be sold for $100, unless you're Don Machiko, which will receive $200 unless he sells 2 or more dice.
It is possible, while moving, that you will collide with an obstacle or another car. When hitting another car, you'll use up a movement point but not enter the car's space. Instead, that car moves 1 space in the direction forward away from the ramming car. The cars in the collision will lose $100, placing it underneath them at the point of collision, unless you're Pepetta, which doesn't lose money or durability. Ramming cars this way can have a chain effect, where they'll hit other cars, obstacles, or go off the bridge entirely. In all these cases, they take extra damage and lose more durability. There are many instances on how these can take effect for us to name them all, but the rulebook is pretty concise. Should a car reach 0 durability, they'll have these cars flipped around and have their speed reduced to 0. Don't forget to lose money accordingly as well. To turn around, a player must do a U-turn and spend 3 steering icons on this movement turn. As soon as someone crosses the bridge, each player finishes up the round. Depending on how many players you are, check to see your bonus cash you get for crossing the bridge in your position. The player with the most money wins. Just make sure you're not the last, because you'll be sleeping with the fishes.
So as you can tell, the first thing to pop from this game is the components. They are numerous, and being a Simon and Kama game, they'll be on the extravagant side, which is certainly beautiful like candy, but really not necessary for gameplay, but certainly will drive the price point up for this game. And speaking of money and components, the little money chits were extremely annoying being so small. Moving on. Artwork is great in whichever few places that showcase it. The theme is very well represented through mechanics as well. The game is certainly strong tactically, but strategically, well, you can't really strategize. I mean, you just go with the flow in what hazards appear in the next round and what other players do, and on how well you roll your dice. But everybody's in the same boat, so it's not a huge con, so only half-point penalty. Luck factor is handled well, what with the rerolls and bonuses to mitigate it. What we feel threw the game off balance was actually the innate character abilities. Some were simply better than others, especially John Duke's power of the suspension and the ramps, which are a variant used where each player has a ramp so they can use to jump over obstacles or keep it until the end of the game and sell it off for money. So if you're not using the ramps, he is extremely underpowered, compared to Don Mochico, who can make $300 at the end of the round by simply selling one of his die. I personally would not play with the powers, but that's me. I mean, listen, in the end, the game plays like a slicked up video game of the genre, which is pretty cool, I guess. Just don't take it too seriously, which ironically is probably an advice I should have given the publishers. Gang Rush Breakout makes the grade with a 7 out of 10. Subscribe now to our channel to stay in the loop. If you like our work, help us continue by sharing the channel to your gaming group. Thanks for watching and happy gaming.